should be. I think I'm good. We're good. We're doing it. We're in.
So we got copyrighted for the Men in the Woods thing.
Yeah, we got copyrighted for the guys being dudes. I don't know why they're so protective of these fucking shitty reality shows. Meanwhile, we also got claimed for fucking Taylor Swift. Or not Tayller Swift. What else did we have in there?
No, I don't think there was any Taylor Swift this time.
No, but there was The Killers.
Oh.
What's that other shitty band? 5 Seconds
To
of Summer.
past seasons.
Oops, that's your voice. Hold on.
That's not what you want to hear.
Nope.
Basically all the bands that were in that one TikTok.
Yep.
Should have seen that coming.
Yeah, let me see. Where is it gone now? Hold on.
Fall Out Boy?
Details. Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh.
Unsealed Alien Files.
What is that? Oh, is that one of the other shows?
I guess so. I don't know how it could have detected that because it was playing at a bizarre frame rate and also the like audio was mismatched. I Knew You Were Trouble, Taylor's version. They even got the version in there.
I don't even remember having that in the show.
Oh no, it was from the sex doll, our friend with the his friend.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were trying to figure out how I got that video like in my For You page, and it turns out he's a big Swiftie.
Yep. He was a 40-year-old Swiftie.
Yeah.
And then we got the 5 Seconds of Summer, and then I played Mr. Brightside to make a point. I forget what the point was, but I made it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you made it, but nobody can hear it.
No, they can. That's what I'm saying. Is that like I could play all of that copyrighted music, it gets identified, and the video could still go up. But I play a couple minutes of fucking a reality show that isn't on television anymore, and they nuke the video.
Yeah, I figured you would be in the clear because that stuff is all like on that free platform.
I was playing YouTube videos.
That wasn't even on the Plex thing. That was on YouTube.
Yeah, I was playing clips from their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they claimed it for that.
To be fair, it was a long clip.
Yeah, okay, but we were like pausing it. Technically it's fair use. If I wanted to like fight it, I could, because we were providing commentary over it.
Yeah.
Like we were providing critical commentary of it. Mm-hmm. Like we weren't just reproducing it. But it's just not worth it.
No.
It's just not worth it. So, yeah, but there's the full unedited version up on the website now, and boy, is that going to cut into the bandwidth. But what are you going to do?
So that's how you're getting around it. Instead of having it on like YouTube, you're putting the full version on your website.
Yes, that's what I'm going to try for now. We'll see if it's worth it, because yeah, it really cuts into my allotted space on the website. Video is so much bigger than audio files, let me tell you.
It's okay, you have to preserve the art as it's meant to be viewed.
Yeah, I had to show people the top shot, That's
what it was. I was trying to remember the name.
Yeah, so...
It sounds like, isn't there like a golf course?
I think it's a golf video game, actually.
Now
right? Top Shot Golf?
Sounds right.
Top Shot Golf. I guess it's a place. I guess it's a golf place.
Yeah, they're like a chain.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think it's like a driving range kind of thing. Anyway, this is the DeadEndRoad show. It's Bill and Ian. We're hanging out and trying not to get too annoyed at copyright infringement. I want to get started with a follow-up to last week. So let me do something.
Completely indecipherable. Didn't get a single word of that.
Really? Nothing?
No.
I was trying to enunciate.
Yeah, it somehow got even lower than last week.
Really?
Sounds like it on my end.
Should I do another take?
I mean, not really.
Okay. You don't think it's worth it? Damn. Yeah, so I've begun my experiments. I did get confirmation. I can't talk about it. There's no NDA.
Are you a pro gamer
in fact, now? Maybe. Today was actually my first like training session.
Oh man.
And so I had to do some of the trials to provide a baseline. And boy, is this weird. So I have to put on they mailed me some 3D glasses.
When you say that, I'm picturing like the movie theater 3D glasses?
You are not wrong.
Okay.
But these are like the old school style where like it's the red blue.
Oh, hell yeah.
But these are like, I guess, nicer than those like paper ones you used to get like back whenever red blue was the thing. So like these are like plastic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I look like Mike TV from Willy Wonka, you know.
No idea, but sure.
Okay, all right. Don't make me feel old.
I'm slightly older than you.
I know, but if you don't get my references, God, all right. Anyway, the kid that watches too much TV and he wears the white suit and he got to put on the goggles and he shrinks them to go inside the TV.
You describe it all you want. I've never seen it.
You've never seen Willy Wonka? There's something wrong with that, for starters.
Not really.
What do you mean, not really? Gene Wilder? Okay.
I mean,
all
I've
right.
probably it's probably been on, you know, at some point, and I've been in a room while it's on. But we're talking like
you watch all these fucking movies. You're watching French ass cinema and all this hoity-toity shit, and you haven't seen Willy Wonka?
I just never thought that was part of like the essential canon, you know?
It is. Okay, it is. Just so you could be a part of the, you know, what's it called? The cultural conversation.
I don't hear anybody making Willy Wonka references outside of yourself.
Okay, fine. Then you could be a part of this conversation.
I don't really want to be a part of this conversation.
Anyway, I gotta wear these 3D glasses, right?
Was Willy Wonka in 3D?
No.
Okay. So that'd be pretty cool if it was, because then we have like a connection there, you know?
I already made the connection.
Okay.
God. Anyway, I gotta wear these glasses
for 3D, right? Like 3D wasn't invented until.
But like Jaws.
Probably. I've never seen that either.
Except that one time. What, the original?
Right, the original. Except that one time where I think it was playing on a small television at a concert venue that we went to.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I can't say I followed much of it.
Yeah, I would say Willy Wonka is more important than Jaws.
Really? That sounds like a hot take. Yeah, that does sound like a hot take.
Yeah.
I feel like Jaws is much more widely referenced.
I think there's more to the text of Willy Wonka than there is to Jaws.
Okay.
So, anyway,
there's like there's like child abuse, right? In Willy Wonka, isn't that what it's about?
Kids get murdered.
Okay, I consider that abuse of a sort.
Sure.
Golden tickets.
I mean, the Oompa Loompas.
Sure.
You know about the Oompa Loompas?
I've heard of them.
Okay.
I know enough where I could pretend that I've seen Willy Wonka.
So you couldn't even do it for my benefit?
No, I just didn't feel like it today.
Damn it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so I'm in these fucking 3D glasses. Mm-hmm. And so what I have to do is I got to open up this program and I got to track these balls that are bouncing around in 3D. And so 4 of them are highlighted at the start and then they're unhighlighted. And then I have to follow them around. And then after like 8 seconds or whatever, I then have to click on the 4. So it's like a memory thing also, but it's also like tracking them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand like why the 3D glasses.
Because the balls are showing up in like, what is it, anaglyphic 3D?
Yeah, but unless you're talking VR, like all the video games are in 2D. So I don't see how this like applies to the greater like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's easier to render.
Okay.
I don't know. But that's the thing. And so like you have to do like a set of like 20 of those. And then today I had to do 4 of those sets of 20.
Getting the reps in.
Pretty much. Yeah. And so like, if you pass one of them. So, like, if you get all 4 balls, it speeds up. Mm-hmm. And so if you keep doing better, it speeds up. Like, the speed keeps increasing. The worse you do, the speed slows down. So it's like trying to match your own difficulty.
Dynamic difficulty.
Yeah. And so that's kind of it. The other thing is that I have to wear a knockoff Fitbit. It's like a Chinese-ass Fitbit.
They sent that
to monitor.
They sent that to you as well?
Yeah. And I get to keep that, they said, after the whole thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I thought that'd be like the easy part, to be honest with you. Like just wearing that 24/7, so I don't have to worry about it. But I quickly realized I actually don't like wearing one of these all the time. Especially to sleep. I don't like wearing it to sleep.
Are they meant to be, like, do people wear Fitbits around the clock? Or is it only when they're exercising?
I think people like if they want their notifications or whatever.
Oh.
And to track their daily, like, all their steps and shit.
Is this like a smartwatch that, like, you've implements with, like, your phone and stuff?
Yeah, because that's how I get the data off of it.
This is a very, like, involved thing you're doing here.
Yeah, it is. And then the other thing is that I got to track all my meals, but I have to do that manually. and that's through a different website. So I got to put that shit in. And then there's also the daily tasks, which is I have to do that before I do the ball trials with the 3D glasses. I got to say like how I'm feeling and how excited I am for the trial and how I slept the night previously. And also what color my piss was.
Right. Yeah. You mentioned that last week. That sort of set off an alarm for me about this whole ordeal.
Yeah. And so then they don't really talk about that, and it's not part of the nutrition thing. But then whenever you're doing your daily thing, which is like, so this is the first day I did it. And so like there was no piss, and I was like, oh, maybe they kind of axed the piss thing, they realized that wasn't really useful or whatever, but it's like, nope, daily piss. They got to tell us about the daily piss. And so you got to pick your piss color. They kind of give you like a Pantone lineup of what shade of yellow your piss was.
Oh, it's like you're walking into Home Depot and picking out off the wall of samples.
Basically. And so I got to match my piss color. So there's that. I guess that's a critical moment because there's like a bonus if I fill out the daily sheets. The daily sheets are apparently really important. So there's like a big bonus to make sure that I do those.
Do you have to identify the piss color while wearing 3D glasses?
No. In fact, if I look at anything other than the balls with the 3D glasses, it like hurts because shit is not supposed to be rendered that way.
Yeah.
With the blue and the red. I have to do like the old lady thing where like I put it on the tip of my nose and then like angle my head down to like peer over the glasses. Yeah,
I was gonna say like
just so I can like look.
3D glasses are unpleasant, especially the very like the bare minimum like cheap kind.
Yeah,
and also you're somebody who is like prone to headaches in general, right?
Yes.
So
yes, I am. Yeah. But yeah, like the trial thing itself is like not anything. It took a little longer than I thought it would because I had to do like 4 sets of them. But maybe that's just like the baseline thing, So they wanted like a bigger sample. But I guess I'll see tomorrow. And so like I had to schedule. So I have to do this for 8 days. So today was the first day of 8, and I have to do it at a similar time each day. So I had to schedule 8 sessions. So I will 11:30 tomorrow. I will be back doing it again.
How excited were you for the experiment today?
Not really, because I actually didn't sleep very well last night.
So did you put that down?
So I did. I'm not trying to like fuck up their whole shit. I'm trying to give them, honest data. Like I'm not trying to like throw the experiment or anything. So yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing my daily tasks.
All right. I mean, that sounds good. Just keep on tracking those balls and examining the piss, and I think everything will work out.
Yeah. We'll see. I feel like I was getting better at it, to be honest with you. Like I was getting because at the bottom it shows you like which ones you got right and which ones you didn't, and like I was getting some streaks going.
Do you think you could join the Rocket League Championship Series after this is all said and done?
No. Mostly because I don't think this is a skill that translates to Rocket League.
Oh, okay.
Because this is just like pointing and clicking. You know what I mean?
Oh, so if there was a King's Quest tournament.
Yeah. This is actually training me to be better at RuneScape, to be honest with you.
There you go. There's a practical application.
Sure, yeah. So, that's what's going on with the experiment. Probably won't update it again unless something else happens, but I really doubt anything is going to change dramatically in the next 8 days of me logging my piss and food intake and doing my 3D clicking. But yeah, I got confirmation that I got to talk about it.
That's good. You got the okay.
Got the okay.
I was going to ask before we move on, if there was going to be a modern remake of Willy Wonka, who would you cast as the titular character? I have my answer.
I think we've talked about him a lot recently.
Okay.
But I think Willem Dafoe.
Oh, interesting.
He might be too menacing though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's already a whole vibe.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Hugh Jackman.
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
because Willy Wonka needs to be like this enigmatic. He needs to be a weirdo. Hugh Jackman is too much of a pretty boy. He's too ripped. That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's a pivot for Hugh.
No.
Logan was a successful sort of turn.
Yeah, he's fucking Wolverine.
That's true. He'd done that a couple times already, I guess.
Yeah. No.
Is it a musical?
Yeah.
Well, there's a check mark because Jackman does musicals.
Sure, but no, it doesn't work. He doesn't fit.
All right. I mean, I've never seen it, so I can't say.
You need a weirdo.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Willem Dafoe definitely fits for that.
Yeah, but the thing with Willem Dafoe is he might be too weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's Willem Dafoe from The Northman.
Right. You need like an unassuming weird. Dafoe might be too over the top weird.
Yeah.
He needs to age like another 20 years, but who's the kid that's in like all the A24 movies that plays like the trickster guy and like everything? The kid from Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. I think you nailed it there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He just we need to wait another 20 years.
I don't know if Hollywood's schedule, they like to really move fast.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But that's the pick.
Maybe if they do a remake now with Hugh Jackman and it flops because he's not right for the role, then they can come back to it in 20 years with that guy.
Got a quick dead letter here.
My goal has, for some reason, and I didn't even anticipate this before I sat down to record, was to derail this podcast. I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm very sorry.
Yeah. We got one from Roberte Dumb here. And it's in Cyrillic. And this time I don't know why I bothered to translate it. Because translating it provides no answers. Because translated it says meter verification vidno. So
that's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing. Well, there's a link.
No, we've been down this road before.
But I don't even think the link is usable. So.
Okay.
But I just really enjoy the name Roberte Dumb.
How do you spell dumb?
Like the word.
Okay, just flat out D-U-M-B.
D-U-M-B.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good. Mm-hmm. It's very good. And if you have any spam email that you would like to send my way,
or like a legitimate email, like a real one from a person.
Roberte Dumb is like a Pynchon character. I just really enjoy that. Video at DeadEndRoad.co. We do have a big story that I want to talk about, and this is sort of a Doesn't Add Up mini. I was going to go back into the conspiracy subreddit, but then this sort of fell into my lap. There's a hot new cult on the block, led by sort of a charismatic, enigmatic figure, and he calls himself a god. He says that he's going to be a new leader of black men. And he's also a rapper. And he leads what he calls the University of Cosmic Intelligence.
It's quite a resume.
Which is quote, a platform for his lectures, in-person meditations, the sale of crystal jewelry, and rap videos. And that's all pretty interesting on its own. But the reason why this is in the news is that he's under investigation for a multitude of reasons. Some of them being that a few of his followers are on trial for murder, which is quite fun. And what's not fun is that he is currently in jail on, take a wild guess, child sexual abuse charges. So there's a lot going on here. And this all comes to us from Vice News because they're always on it. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin with this dude. Perhaps maybe we should take a listen to some of his rap. What do you think?
It's a great idea, as long as you don't get struck down again by the copyrights.
All right, we gotta take the gamble. So this is his name is Rashad Jamal. Mm-hmm. This is his Kundalini energy.
When you live in a poor neighborhood, you're living in an area where you have to have poor schools. When you have poor schools, you have poor teachers. When you have poor teachers, you get a poor education.
I believe this is Malcolm X.
Okay.
revolution is real. Now we rise. My life for this shit.
This already has much better production value than I thought.
Deep the being descended from Mayan ruins. Larry Hoover's spine is the Malcolm X of the music. Ain't walking in your purpose, then why you walking, you useless. Divine love, but you can call it cosmic Kama Sutra. I'm waking up the planet while spitting the face of these racists who be trying to vaccinate us, but acting like they gon' save us, feed us. Rat meat for chicken, miseducating our babies. Priests and politicians in bed with Lucy and Satan. They organ harvesting, pedophilia, kidnappers, rapists. They love us, then they hate us. It's a crazy combination. Obama's nation bombed our nation. That's abomination. And y'all ain't taking.
Obama's nation, birth of a nation. That's abomination.
I didn't hear birth of a nation. I heard bombed our nation.
Oh, maybe that's what he said. Yeah, much higher production value than I was expecting.
No, the production value is really good. I was like into it, and then it got anti-vax, I think.
Oh yeah. He's incredibly anti-vax. So another thing is that he claims that the NBA is all NBA players are synthetic robots.
Oh. Are we sure he wasn't just watching clips of 2K?
Maybe.
Okay.
And so this is a 9-minute video. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I don't know, but this is him apparently claiming that they're quote Mach 5 robots, but he spells it MOCK 5, not like MACH.
Well, this is a different category.
Okay. Yeah.
When it comes to Steph Curry, he's a Mach 5 robot. All of them. Now, James Harden, Mach 5 robot. Kevin Durant, all these niggas right now. So what happens is this. The NBA, now this gonna blow y'all. You ain't gotta believe it. Truth, I'm just gonna present the truth to you. The NBA has magnets. They have magnets in the rim, and they have magnets in the ball, okay? Y'all don't know that. They have magnets in the rims, and they have magnets in the basketballs. So, why, as of late, why do you think all of a sudden niggas shoot from the logo? Logo Lillard, Steph, James, you thinking niggas automatic like that? Yeah, all right. Look at all them shots Steph Curry be shooting. You think a regular person could shoot the ball like that? I ain't talking about no regular square up J. That was Ray Allen days, nigga, yeah. I'm talking about the ones when he gonna throw them bitches up and look the other way on your ass and the bitches still go in. You should've known, y'all should've known then. Niggas ain't question nothing. You know what I'm saying? Niggas believe everything they see on TV. Come on, man, some of them shots you should've, they was a dead giveaway. You should've been, hold on, what the fuck? Hell no, they ain't know how the fuck he hit that. You see what I'm saying? Nigga, we hoop every day now. We hoop every day now. See what I'm saying? It's magnets in the basketball and magnets in the rims. That's how we throw that bitch up. It's a magnet in the ball, so the rim is pulling the ball to the rim. Then it's a magnet in the rim. You know what I'm saying? They do all this because they wanted to extend the three-point line. Why? Because it all started with Jordan.
Okay.
Okay.
If they were robots, why would they also need a magnetic rim and ball?
Yeah, like if they were robots, their shot could just be like automatic. Yeah, it could be programmed.
Yeah. What's more concerning to me than this guy, because he also has a gigantic blunt in his hand while he's doing this.
Sure.
Unsurprisingly. So, one, he didn't post this. This is like some kind of believer that posted this. What's more concerning is the comments. So I remember seeing that with Tiger Woods. The ball turned at a right angle, but never thought of it with a basketball. They're thinking of Space Jam.
Really?
That was the movie Space Jam.
With Tiger Woods?
Where Bugs Bunny takes a magnet from underneath the golf course and drags the ball into the golf hole for Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay.
That was Space Jam, the semi-animated movie. Mm-hmm. Somebody says, no lies told here, all facts. Somebody says, facts. You could predict the shots as they go in 2016. That is when I stopped watching it.
I mean, to me, this just sounds like a lot of people that are very jealous of Steph Curry's basketball skills.
Right. He says that he was even saying, like, we play every day and we can't make those shots. Like, yeah, you're not a professional basketball player.
He said, like, these aren't regular people making these shots. It's like, yeah, they're elite athletes. They're not regular people. They've been doing this all their lives.
We have one negative comment. This man be talking crazy, it be entertaining. And so then somebody replies, so basically, if NBA players told you there's 25 million down at the end of the cliff at the Grand Canyon, but you have to jump with nothing to get it, you jump. Splat, come back alive, and re-jump. The idol worship is real serious within our community. It's sad. The truth only sound crazy to the sleep.
I mean, that's very funny considering the guy that made the video is now a cult leader.
Man, this guy speak facts, but I totally disagree. It's called working on your game, being gym rat. The nets swish before the ball goes in.
Nah, you're just, your TV audio is out of sync, buddy.
And then somebody replies, no, it don't. Bro, not even 2-3 months ago, I could find a shit ton of videos on this. Now this is the only one I can find. Seems like when you post something on YouTube, like they don't like delete it, but I wonder why.
They're censoring us.
Kawhi Leonard game winner was suspect. Somebody says, riddle me this, Batman. Since they're Mach 5, how the heck did they get injured? Or do they fake it like y'all say they do? Man, y'all listen to anything that comes out this man's mouth and take it as truth because of what? And then the uploader replied, if it doesn't resonate with you, then move forward. No judgment is ever necessary. Only discernment in this space. Peace. So this is what we're dealing with. And that was only a minute and a half of a 9-minute video.
Was there any more evidence other than the magnets and the rims?
Do we really want to keep
No,
listening
it's
to
all
him?
right. Maybe I'll go on my own time and check it out.
Sure. That's how it starts. You got to do your own research. So he also claims that the government can control the weather, and that they have control of and can shut on and off stargates, which is what he calls rainbows. And that rainbows lead to alternate dimensions that are all around us.
Wait, you can't just... hold on. You can't just take a word that means something and completely change its meaning and refer to it as something else entirely. Like, that rainbow's already a thing.
No, they're stargates.
It's not... Okay.
And they lead to numerous alternate dimensions. I think he watched that Thor movie.
Sure. Yeah, it's all... It sounds like science fiction.
With the Bifrost.
Yeah.
So he's been in jail for a few months. He was accused of abusing the child of his previous partner, and he also has another additional count of cruelty to children. And he, of course, claims that this is false. Quote, the oppressors seek to label me a pedophile because I had the courage to speak out against them and expose their lies, plots, and plans within their satanic kingdom, as opposed to labeling me what I really am, which is a black activist, scientist, philosopher, historian, philanthropist, author, revolutionary poet, and a public speaker working hard to raise the vibration of the collective consciousness. He likened himself to others: Martin Luther King Jr., Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Left Eye, Princess Diana, Michael Jackson, Kanye West, Bill Cosby, and Kobe Bryant.
Huh.
That's a hell of a list.
It is.
That's a hell of a list.
It started off really strong. And then got very suspect.
He claims that that list, they were all assassinated, brought down by false charges, or, quote, put under MK Ultra for trying to expose the unspecified satanic plots and schemes he seeks to uncover.
Yes, this guy's just full-blown conspiracy theorist.
Yeah. And so the thing that's weird is that he doesn't actually, he doesn't seem to promote any sort of, philosophy of violence or anything like that at all. It's much more conspiratorial and mystic, and he's selling crystals and shit. There's another quote: "We descend down into this material realm in complete perfection, but the moment upon our inception or birth, we are injected with nanobot technology."
Playing the greatest hits here.
Yeah. So it's like a mix of Afrocentric Hotep stuff with new age crystally, bullshit mixed with anti-vax, QAnon adjacent satanic pedophile conspiracy, right? So it's all the greatest hits. Yeah. But he's actually not preaching any sort of active violence.
So how does he end up with murderous followers?
That's the strange thing. It seems like they're not quite sure yet. So there's a bunch of cases right now of people that have actively followed him and have actively bought his specific crystals and the jewelry that he sells. The one thing is that he sells weird crystal spears that I can't get a handle on. So there's one case where I think he's a 22-year-old, killed his mother with, they called it a ninja sword, which I don't know what a ninja sword is exactly, but I'm guessing some kind of katana, some kind of Japanese adjacent looking weapon like that. Killed his mother, attacked his uncle, cut off half of his face. The uncle was bedridden with cerebral palsy. and might have also attacked his brother, who it's either Down syndrome or some other form of autism, and then like ran off into a nearby abandoned house before he was arrested. So that's one of the cases. And according to the father, he was like a normal kid, played games until he like discovered this dude's weird videos. And so after he discovered the videos, he like decided to start selling off, you know, his PlayStation and his consoles and stuff, and started spending thousands of dollars on crystals and like all of this dude's weird merch, and was like just engrossed in all this shit. And the parents were keeping an eye on him. And then whenever he bought the sword, the mom was like, what are you doing with the sword? So there was like this tension here now that he's like got weapons. And then apparently he also bought a Glock, body armor, and tons of ammunition. And so the father, like, he said that he tried to watch the videos and quote, it was stupid. I tried to look at some of these videos and I can't even listen to them. It's so dumb. Lizard people and aliens.
Right.
And so like there's not really a like seemingly direct connection between the weird shit that this guy's saying and directly inciting violence.
Yeah.
Like he's talking about how there's like, you know, evil Satanists or whatever, but it's like so general. There's like there's talk of an other, like of some kind of enemy, but it's not really specific in the way that, like, you know, QAnon gets into, where it's you know, the Democrats are pedophiles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to figure out that like this 22-year-old had like supposedly no history of mental illness whatsoever, seemed to be a normal kid, and he only found out about this dude through fucking Call of Duty voice chat. It's very strange.
Yeah, that's what strikes me as the weirdest part, this like idea that he was completely normal before this, because I feel like in order to be somebody who gets sucked into the world that this guy has created and all of his ideas and nonsense, you have to be like, you have to be like predisposed, right? Like you have to.
Yeah, you'd think, right? Yeah. And so that's the other thing. He also started becoming transfixed on the sun after watching the videos, due to this Hotep Egyptian gods obsession, that whole kind of thing. And that he was also like blocking in the front and back doors from the inside using metal bars. But yeah, it's like, according to the dad, it was just like a complete radical change in personality.
Wow. And
so then the other major case is that two followers of this dude's teachings, they seemingly attempted to stage a robbery where one pretended to be a stranded motorist, got somebody to stop for them, attempted to rob them, and then shot one of them after one of the people that stopped pulled out a gun that they had, while the other person was like hiding in the woods. This one's weird because the judge has put a gag order on like all the cops working on it, all the lawyers working on it. And there's something weird about a community out in the woods living in tents. And out there, investigators found one of the suspects of this botched robbery. Their child, who was a 5-year-old, was wielding a shotgun.
Oh my!
And so like it's hard to get information about this because of the gag order that's going on.
Right. What would be the reason for that? Like legally,
I'm not sure. I don't know if it's because there's like this bigger investigation that's going on into this cult, and they don't want to like, I don't know, like tip them off to what they might know. Maybe.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Although like this case of a robbery gone wrong sounds a lot more like, I don't know. Compared to the first example, it's like a lot less wild, right? A lot less extreme. I mean, obviously still tragic, but like compared to somebody having a complete personality shift and being sucked into this like rabbit hole of conspiracy and philosophy and all this.
Yeah. And then the other thing is that, so the father of the 22-year-old says that police from 2 other states wanted to talk to him because they have similar cases of crimes with suspects that had been watching this dude's videos too.
Oh boy.
And Vice said that the father didn't give contact information, so that didn't go anywhere in this article. But
So all these crimes happened before the man himself, the cult leader himself, was in prison, right? I'm assuming, because didn't you say he's been in jail for like a few weeks?
It's been a few months, I believe so. Yeah. Oh, did I mention that both of these took place in Alabama?
No.
Both sets of crimes.
That's also weird, because like, so where is the cult leader himself located? Do we know?
Well, he's in jail in Georgia.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird that they would be in the same state, because if people are just like being introduced to him via the internet, like you could be watching him from anywhere.
Yeah.
So that it would be like there would be a regional connection is strange too. Was he having like in person, like, I don't know, meetings with like his followers?
He did previously before he was incarcerated.
Right. So then maybe that makes a bit more sense if he's actually having meetups, you know?
Yeah.
Man, is Tom Brady a robot, do you think?
You know, maybe. He might be a Mach 4.
Mach 4, older version, yeah. Although if he was a robot, he wouldn't have to deflate the footballs.
Well, I don't know. He might have been trying to put a magnet in it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I find this very interesting. Because again, like on the outside, a dude that says just outlandish shit, you know, it's easy for us to say that like it's immediate bullshit, but you just look at the YouTube comments and you get people to just instantly buy in. Yeah. Like, yeah, that jump shot, you know, it's got to be a robot. It's got to be magnets. Like, it's as easy as that. So like you that's the in, right? Then all of a sudden you start talking about, you know, the fluoride in the water's bad. Yeah. And then you start talking about
that's why I still don't fully buy how this the 22-year-old was perfectly like well adjusted before that. Like I don't see that shift being so 180 like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you know, like that, and this is, I don't know, like what this father, like what relationship the father had with the kid. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. There's a lot you can keep from your parents.
Yeah. Like, and unfortunately he killed the mom, so we don't have the mom's side.
Oh, shit.
The mom might have said different. Apparently the mom and the son were like really close. So that's like even like more surprising, or maybe it's even not, you know. But yeah, you know, the father might not have had like the right insight into what was really going on with his son. I don't know. Yeah. The other thing I want to leave us with, and this is what Vice ends the article with, in a call from his in jail, Jamal says that I was called a cult leader. I'm not a cult leader. I stand for righteousness. And then he says, peace to the gods and goddesses of the planet Kai. That's Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
Reference.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, it's a shame he's missing the Fortnite crossover because he's in jail. It's such a bummer.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Wait, what's he in jail for? Did I miss that? Did you say what he's in jail for?
Yeah, for child sexual abuse.
Oh, okay. I thought those were just accusations. I didn't know he was like, yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do some Moogle. Great. It's Soul Hackers 2 time. Fucking finally.
Yeah.
I've been waiting. I've been praying, and it's Soul Hackers 2 time. I talked a lot about this game in the run up, and I talked a lot about my plight to pre-order the collector's edition, and it's here. It's finally here.
You've had your hands on it for about a week now?
Yeah. I wish I've gotten to play more, but of course the game fucking came out the same time as a Final Fantasy 14 raid. But it's good. It's a good fucking video game.
That's good news, because there hasn't been one of these since what, the 90s?
Yeah. No, this is the follow up to a Sega Saturn game.
I mean, obviously there have been plenty of like iterations of like what, SMT and Persona and stuff that are adjacent. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, so to set it up, in this game, you play as Ringo. You are an agent of Ion, which is a sort of the collected mass of sentient AI that has now been given form, humanoid form, in order to supposedly prevent the end of the world. And in order to do that, you are tasked with preventing the deaths of a couple of people. And unfortunately, in every instance, you arrive too late. But instead, Ringo decides to employ a tactic called soul hack, which is basically a form of resurrection. It is taking the ego and the soul of a person and bringing it back up from the depths and giving them life again. And then they become your party members. And that's sort of the first 15 minutes of the game. And so it's a dungeon crawler. You're doing battle, turn-based style. It is not press turn, and it is not the Persona One More system. It is closer to, I guess, SMT Strange Journey in combat, where you have, your turn-based order is determined by agility stat. Like Persona, it goes one side's turn, then the other side's turn, and you hit enemy weaknesses. When you hit enemy weaknesses, a counter goes up. And at the end of your party's turn, something called Sabbath is initialized. And Sabbath is sort of a cross between all-out attack from Persona and sort of the alignment follow-up attack from Strange Journey. So for every weakness that you hit, you get to do additional... That demon that you have does additional damage at the end of the turn to all of the enemies that are still alive. And you get this flashy, cool animation, and, it's a Sabbath. That's what happens. So it is not press turn, but it is still a good turn-based system.
Yeah, that was my main concern listening to a video game podcast last week, where they were giving impressions of this game, and they mentioned disappointment with the battle system and that it was overly simplified. And so I was like, ooh, that doesn't sound like what you would want from this game. But you're satisfied with it?
It's okay. It is far from the best, right? Especially for an SMT. You have to look at the context of where this game is in the entirety of the series. So this is a game that is a follow-up to a game from the fucking 90s that had an even more basic combat system. It is not a mainline SMT game. This game doesn't even have SMT in the title. It is trying to be closer to a Persona game than other SMT games.
Yeah, which is the logical move.
It is. It is trying to be an entry point into SMT, similar to the way a Persona game is an entry point into SMT. But it's trying to be a more mature entry point into SMT than Persona is. For example, this is a cast of adults. You're basically contracts, not hitmen, but you're devil summoners, and so you take on odd jobs to fulfill requests that people have that involve summoning demons and killing demons and shit like that. You don't necessarily have social links, but you have a soul level, and I guess this is closer to maybe the way Fire Emblem does it. I don't know, where you basically have a numerical score for how well you get along with your team and each individual member of the team. And so dialogue options will tell you immediately how many soul points that will give each member of the team, like who you're basically siding with in a dialogue option. And you can, like a social event in Persona might be, going to the diner, whereas in this, you're going to the bar for drinks, right?
Right.
So this is aimed at a slightly more mature audience in that way. One of your characters one of your party members is the former lover of the main antagonist, so it's got that mature twist on some of the same ideas that could be found in a Persona game. So looking at that context, yes, this is a more simplified battle system. I immediately bumped up the difficulty as soon as I could. Immediately. Because I quickly realized, there's no press turn. And enemies can't, at least not so far, can't perform Sabbath on me. So I need a greater challenge here.
Did it work?
It worked so far, yeah. I'm already have to manage resources much more. The other thing is that this is more of a dungeon crawler in combat than even SMT5 definitely was. Because SMT5 doesn't even really have dungeons. And so that is sort of the legacy of the original Soul Hackers and older SMT games, and also a game like Strange Journey, which has a much similar combat style to this. The games are quite different, where Strange Journey's difficulty lies in the labyrinthine layout of the dungeons and the puzzles of the dungeons and just trying to fucking navigate the mazes. This game does not have difficult dungeon layouts or anything like that, but the dungeons are quite large, and there are a lot of enemies. So if you bump up the difficulty, you're now managing resources, and you can get overwhelmed quite easily. So even though the combat is simplified, there is still a challenge there if you want to provide yourself with it. The other thing that is more different than a usual SMT and is different from the original Soul Hackers is that you have a full party. Whereas in usual SMT games and the original Soul Hackers, you would fill out the rest of your party with demons instead of NPC companions. In this game, they explain it away story-wise that through the soul hack and this resurrection, that the devil summoner's powers of summoning have been altered, and so now they can't summon the way that they usually would. And so what this means is that instead of summoning and using demons the way you usually would, you now equip demons. And this system is similar to like Persona Q and Q2, where you would equip personas. And what that basically means is that you now have those demons' powers and abilities, and also their affinities. So now you have their elemental weaknesses and also their elemental resistances. And so you're able to change those out of combat. And there's also later on a leader skill where you can change them on the fly based on a certain number of turns, I think. I just got that, so I haven't used it extensively yet. And so that does deepen the complexity. And what was I going to say? The other thing that is a little different is just based on the nature of equipping demons, is you can't like be switching them in and out the same way you would. And also the party size is like, so you only have a party of 4, whereas in the original Soul Hackers you had you had 5 as a total of max. But the party size in the original fluctuated because of a resource called magnetite. SMT has done away with magnetite since, I guess, Nocturne. Magnetite was a mechanic that was a payment source for demons. So the more demons you had in a party, you had to pay them magnetite in order for them to remain in your party and not in your stock. And so every step you would take in a dungeon, you would have to pay magnetite. It was just this constantly decreasing resource. It was really only a hassle in the early game whenever you wanted to have a full party. After a while, you would just accumulate so much magnetite from combat that it was just a non-factor, and then you never looked at your magnetite again. So it's fine. Like, I don't think anybody misses magnetite. But it's just another difference. The real major thing that's changed is just an overall stylistic and tonal change. So Soul Hackers is now a series that is so it's a spin-off of a spin-off. So Soul Hackers is a spin-off of SMT. It's in a sub-series called Devil Summoner, and it is set in a cyberpunk near future, and it's actually hard to tell at this point if it is. I honestly don't know why they called it Soul Hackers 2, to be quite honest with you, and not like Soul Hackers : something, because I think that makes it harder. For like, it seems like they're trying to invite like a new audience. Like, yeah,
I was gonna say the same thing about the title.
Based on everything that they're trying to do, like the way that they design the game, the way that they're trying to market the game, but like giving it like numerically 2 in the title, making it seem like a sequel, I think is probably going to put off new people that didn't and will not play the original Soul Hackers, because it's a 90s JRPG that was released on the Sega Saturn and then was re-released on the 3DS. Nobody's going to play that game.
Yeah, it's so far removed from that. It just seems like such a strange choice to have that too on there.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't call it Soul Hackers : something. I really don't.
Hasn't it been long enough where you could just call it Soul Hackers again? Like, it wouldn't really matter.
Probably,
right?
That would probably piss off some diehards that are already pissed off enough that the game is too similar to Persona and they don't like that.
So they're already angry. Who cares?
Exactly. Yeah, they probably could have just called it Soul Hackers because it's definitely not a remake. This is its own thing, to be quite honest with you. Like, I don't even know if it's even in the same setting, other than the fact that there are references to like larger SMT Devil Summoner things. Because, all right. I know I get into the weeds a lot, and this is probably going to get into the weeds too. Technically, the Devil Summoner series is canonically linked to the same universe as the Persona series. Who knows what the status of this game is? I'm not far enough. Like, maybe there is something that ties this in, and this is like, oh yeah, this is a full-blown sequel all of a sudden. But early on, it really doesn't seem like it. It really seems like its own thing. The only thing connecting the two is that, there's, demon summoning and devil summoners, and that whole, aesthetic. Victor's here at the what's it called, the Gomaden, and it's cyberpunk. Like, that's kind of it. But it's a totally different cyberpunk, because of course one was made in the 90s, and had a 90s cyberpunk aesthetic, and now it's a sort of modern, like, neon drenched cyberpunk aesthetic, which is fucking awesome. The game has so much style, by the way. It looks tremendous. But yeah, I really don't know why they decided to label it a sequel. I think it is confusing for new people. But you really, to play this game, you really don't need to know anything about any of the bullshit that I'm obsessed with at all.
That's good.
You could just pick up this game and know nothing about SMT or Persona or Soul Hackers or Devil Summoner or any of this shit, and just play this game. And yeah, it's very approachable. If you don't get into the weeds on combat systems like I do, you can just play it on normal and have a good time.
Yeah, see, to me, a simplified, to an extent, combat system sounds great, because I don't want all that from it. If I was going to play it, I would play it on the normal default difficulty and just kind of
exactly.
Because I'm a casual.
Sure, yeah, and no, that's perfectly fine. Most people played Persona Royal on normal, even though that game is baby food easy with the changes they made to it. It's just, that's what difficulty options are for. If you want a challenge, it's there. It just needs to be fucking tuned properly, unlike Royal, which is, I've talked about that enough.
Can you go up and down whenever you want, during your playthrough?
Yes, you can.
That's good.
Yes.
I go back to Fire Emblem Three Houses and how frustrating it was that you could not go back up after you went down.
So dumb.
Especially when that game really was like a roller coaster in terms of difficulty.
Yes.
Very inconsistent.
Yeah. One change, or I guess one, it's kind of a change that I don't know if I like, is to the demon recruitment and conversation system. And sort of the lack thereof. So there is a mechanic in this game, I forget what it's called, the demon scouting or something like that, where whenever you enter a dungeon, you send out your demons and they go scout for you. And what that basically means is that throughout the dungeon, they're just going to be chilling somewhere. And this basically replaces item drops or item chests, and it replaces demon recruitment at the same time. So you'll walk up to your demons and they might give you an item. They might give you a small heal. Thankfully, it's a small heal, because in the tutorial dungeon, they give you a full heal and they're around every corner. That was I was so scared. I was oh my God, how easy is this game?
Yeah.
I was genuinely really scared. I was there's a full heal around every corner. I was so scared. And sometimes they'll be hey, I've got a friend for you. They want to join. And this is how you acquire new demons out in the field. And instead of deciding which demons you would like to recruit out in battle and trying to converse with them. And I don't like it. It's just kind of cheesy. And most of the time, at least so far, you just get duplicates of the same demons that you already have because you recruited them already immediately. And so they'll just give you an item anyway. So it's just kind of lame. It's fine. Luckily, we still have fusion. So there's demon fusion. It seems like the compendium, so the entire list of demons that are available, is kind of small, which is okay. And it's probably due to the fact that this is a new 3D art style for the demons. And so they all had to be newly drawn. What's really cool is that this actually feels like the first like new next-gen SMT game. Because SMT5, for as good as that game is, its performance and graphics on the Switch are pretty bad. And it just kind of feels like a slightly upscaled 3DS game. But this really feels like, okay, now we're fucking finally in 3D. Now we have a high frame rate. Like
it has the you know, on Xbox on the store. I see it has the optimized for the current gen logo.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm playing on PS5. It's also on PC, but like I prefer to play these games on console. And so on PS5, it does have like the prioritized frame rate or prioritized graphics. I usually go for the frame rate, and I tried out the graphics option, and so it bumps it down to like, I guess 30 frames per second, but I honestly can't tell a difference between the graphics of the performance mode and the graphics mode, like at all.
Whereas frame rate is very apparent.
The frame rate's immediate. Yeah, it's at 60, you know. So I just leave it back on performance because I honestly can't tell the difference between the graphics.
Yeah.
If it's at a higher resolution, I can't tell. But yeah, another cool thing is that whenever you get demons to low health, they turn into these like glitched out, you know, like Matrix looking versions to show that they're at low health, and they look so fucking cool. They look so good. Yeah. So it's a good game. I assume it's not going to be what everyone wants or expected it to be.
That's impossible to accomplish, right?
But it's pretty much what I expected. So far, the writing is pretty good. I really enjoy Ringo's voice actress. I think she's really nailing the role. So that's good. I'm interested to see where the story goes, to see if it like maybe deserves to be Soul Hackers 2. You know, if there's actually a reason for it or not, you know, I don't know. And then the last thing I want to say is like, so I got my my Japanese collector's edition. I got it sitting over there. And holy hell, do they do things so much better than US collector's editions? It's really not. But like, even like the plastic that everything is in is so much better. Like, okay, so like it came with the Jack Frost that is dressed like Ringo. And it comes in like a plastic box that has like a window so you could see the figure inside of it. And like, I don't even want to take it out of that.
Yeah, those are always the best.
Yeah. And so then it came with the game in Japanese, which I already have it in English. So there's that. And then it came with the full like multi-disc soundtrack, which like on disc, when the US version came with just the USB stick of a selected soundtrack, not even the full thing. And then it came with like this art book and like it recap. I assume it recaps the story. I can't read it, obviously. Recaps the story of the original Soul Hackers. And the print is like really good quality. And it feels like it was like freshly printed. Like you can smell the ink. It's just like really high quality.
Sure.
And it was cheaper than the Western.
That's the kicker.
Collector's edition. And it came earlier than it said it would. DHL shipping was really good. Like, I just have no complaints. So if anybody ever buys anything on Amazon Japan, as long as it ships, I guess, from like Amazon Japan itself, I have nothing but good things to say about the experience. Yeah.
Well, that's good because a return process probably would have been not worth it whatsoever. So it's good that it worked out.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, nothing but good things to say about that. And I'm very excited to rip the soundtracks. Because the music is also very good. Very good soundtrack. So yeah.
I think I will get this game when it's on sale. Just because you know me and how I am with games and the prospect of playing one to completion.
I think that this would be a good one for you, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Like you know, it's a pared down combat system.
Yeah.
It gets you into the story like immediately. There is no long setup at all. Like this is not like Persona 5, you know, where like it builds up. You gotta like sort of get a glimpse of all these characters and like get all the pieces in together and sort of walk you through that first, you know, section. No, you're kind of like right into it immediately.
That's cool. And I do like the idea of like adult characters versus high school, because I feel like as good as that stuff is, I feel like it's done so much.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I think this does enough to separate itself as its own specific niche in the larger SMT space. Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's good to hear, because I was concerned. I was listening to, I think it was Waypoint, and the impressions weren't as good as you'd want. So I'm glad to hear you're into
it's kind of surprising to me. Like it just has like such a good sense of style. It's just like it's so totally realized. And so far it doesn't fall into the trap that even like really good JRPGs fall into, where like there's just obnoxious fucking characters, like, at least one that you end up hating. And so far that hasn't been the case either. And like I'm curious to see where the story goes. You know, it's talking about like seas of digital information and like just the amalgamation of that and what that does. You know, like it's I don't know. It's fucking my shit.
Sure. Oh, that was never in doubt.
I know, but like just like even the stuff we talk about on here, you know, like it touches on conspiracy and, you know, like just like, man, you know, like I feel like sometimes people like miss the forest for the trees when it comes to these games.
It's very possible.
Like,
yeah.
Like especially with Persona 5, and that's kind of what that big piece that is still kicking is about, where they sort of miss the big picture of it all.
Right.
But anyway, let's hear from David.
That's beautiful cinema.
Thank you. So why don't you take it away here, because I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, just a couple things this week.
Sure.
I'm continuing my horror fest of sorts. Nice. It is officially September now, so I can feel a little bit less ridiculous about it. But I wanted to shout out another Shudder original. They are just they're not missing lately. This one's called Watcher. It's a film directed by Chloe Okuno, and it stars Micah Monroe, who you might recognize as she was the lead in It Follows.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. She's excellent. This movie is excellent. It's a sort of like psychological thriller. She plays a wife who moves to, I believe, Romania. She's an American, and she moves to Romania with her husband because he has a new job there. And so she is in this like big apartment complex in the city, and she spends most of her time alone because he does long hours. And pretty early on into their new life at this new home, she is looking out the window, and across the street there's another set of apartments, and she notices there's this like silhouette, this figure in the window, just still and seemingly looking right at her. And she notices this like night after night. It's a recurring thing. So yeah, this movie is just filled with so much tension and suspense, and it's just brilliantly directed and executed. I don't want to say too much about the plot other than what I've already said, because to get into like spoiler territory. But yeah, it plays so much with like being in like a new country and not speaking the language. That plays into a lot of the tension. There's the sort of like superficially supportive and concerned husband, but also like he's someone who cares more about his job than what is going on with her. There's like the neighbor element. There's a lot of interesting neighbors in this apartment complex that sort of play into what's going on. Then there's the mystery surrounding the person in the window, which, that's incredibly well executed, and it leads to a very, very good ending. So yeah, this was just a really great thriller. I wanted to mention it. I wanted to recommend it. Don't want to say too much, like I said. But
how similar is it to the Shia LaBeouf classic Disturbia?
From what I can remember, not at all. Yeah, not at all.
Because you're describing it, I was like, wait, didn't we just kind of talk about something like this recently?
Yeah, no, this movie's doing something very different than that one. But yeah, great stuff. And then the other thing, which I'm just like over the moon about, is the new Hulu series, The Patient, which is created by Joel Fields and Joe Weisberg, who you might recognize as the creators and showrunners of The Americans, which is, I think I've said this before on the podcast, my favorite TV show ever. This is their first show working together as creators since The Americans, which is kind of surreal for me, like seeing their names pop up and being in another series that they've made, because it's been a while. It's so good. It stars Steve Carell and Domhnall Gleeson, and the basic setup is that Carell wakes up in a basement with his foot attached to the bed, and so he can't get out, and he's been like kidnapped, right? And then you get a flashback, and you get into like his life a little bit, and he's a therapist, and Domhnall Gleeson is one of his clients, his patients, right? And so it turns out that Domhnall's character has kidnapped him, and this is like in the promotional material, so I don't think it's a spoiler, but he's a serial killer, and so he wants help. He's scouted out different therapists, and he's landed on Carell. And so he's sort of like kidnapped him and is now forcing him to work with him and sort of free him of his like compulsion to kill. Like it's so damn good. The first 2 episodes have come out, so it's a weekly show, but just the characterization and the dynamic between these 2 characters is so fascinating right off the bat. The way that it like subverts what you would expect a serial killer to be like and act when it like in terms of like other fictional like representations of serial killers. The show like the character even mentions like Silence of the Lambs as like a comparison. It really subverts that in an interesting way, and yeah, it feels like a COVID production in a way, because most of the show, like the bulk of it, takes place in this basement where Steve Carell's character is stuck. Okay. Yeah, so it feels like what's the term for like bottle episode, right? This feels like a bottle TV show. Yeah. It's a limited series, so it's going to be a one and done type thing. I think it's probably somewhere around 10 episodes, because I know it's going to air until like October. I couldn't recommend it any more highly based off these opening episodes. It's very fascinating. It's very quick too. The episodes are like 20 minutes long. I was expecting hour long, but they're not. They're half hour and even shorter than that when you take out commercials. But yeah, the possibilities here are really exciting going forward. There's a really cool cliffhanger that ends the 2nd episode, so I'm have to wait a week for that. But what's that?
I think so.
Oh, did you? Oh, weird. No, I was just saying there's a really good cliffhanger that ends the 2nd episode that you have to wait for. Yeah, there's sort of like there are comparisons to be made with the Americans. Obviously, I mean, I could talk for forever about what makes the Americans so great. Like, there's so many different reasons why I love it. But of course, you have the fact that the characters that you're following are murderous people, and yet you are like drawn to sympathize with them and sort of understand them, and also like psychologically, like you're seeing how their actions weigh on them, right? And they're exploring a lot of that in this show as well, given the premise. And then just like stylistically, like the way the characters interact, there's just like a flow to the dialogue that just feels very reminiscent. Just the writing feels very reminiscent of what you would get in The Americans. Yeah, I love it so far. It's really good stuff.
Nice.
The Patient. Might go back to it later on in the season if there's something else to bring up. But yeah, I just wanted to shout that out.
Yeah, recommend it. Sounds like one I'd wait for the full.
I agree, fully agree. I just couldn't do it considering who was involved. Of course. I had to watch it. But yeah, I would suggest that, like, if you are not like me and haven't been like obsessively like anticipating their these 2 creators like return to TV, I would just wait for the whole thing to come out, because it is very much a show where I can see how they'll end on a note every week where you're left wanting to see what comes next, you know.
Yep.
Although the first episode ends in a place where the Americans would do so much, which is just 2 characters in a room sitting silently and just sitting with what is weighing on them, you know? And that's how the first episode of this show ended, which was really good. And then of course the second one has that cliffhanger, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Are you really gonna make me talk about Taylor Swift again?
Oh yeah, for sure. We can't just not acknowledge the blockbuster announcement from last weekend. So the MTV VMAs happens. For some reason, they happen at the Prudential Center every year.
They do?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a great question. I wonder the same thing. But yeah, Miss Taylor Swift took her private jet, or maybe I don't know how she got to Newark, but she got to Newark, and she accepted the award for like, I don't know, music video or something, which is, I guess, is the name of the show, right? The Video Music Awards. So that would make sense. She was accepting an award. That's the main thing. So she was on stage. She had that going on, and she took the moment to announce her new album, which was a surprise to me because I was thinking we would get another like Taylor's version, another re-release this year, especially because I think she dropped a track or two from the next one earlier this year, so it would make sense for that to come out like in the fall or winter, but that is not what's happening here. We're getting a fully fledged new album. It's called Midnight. And it seems to be sort of a concept album of sorts.
Sure.
So basically the idea here is that all the tracks are going to be about various times in her life where she has had like a sleepless night, right?
Much to think about.
Yeah. So I think that sounds really cool. A lot of potential there. There's been, of course, speculation about whether this will be like a pop album or whether it'll be more of like her last two, which are more on the folk side of things. I think just the concept of it and also the photos that she released alongside of it definitely points toward folky type of stuff, which I'm all for. Like I'm up for whatever, but I definitely like folklore and that whole thing. So I would be happy with that. Yeah, it's coming out in October 21st. People have really, so I don't know if this was intentional or not, because people always, they examine everything surrounding.
Are you going to talk about the numerology?
A little bit. So of course the VMAs is where the infamous Kanye West moment happened years ago, right? Where he interrupted her speech. So she's back at the same awards ceremony. This is 13 years after that incident. Where if you know anything about Taylor Swift, 13 is sort of a lucky number for her. Just throwing that out there. But no, what's even more telling here is, so she made this announcement and the album is coming out, like I said, October 21st, which is Kim Kardashian's birthday, former wife of one Kanye West. So it's a bit of a shot.
Is it?
Potentially, that's what people think. I don't know if I buy it.
You know what you sound like? You sound like the guy from the rehearsal.
Oh, the numbers guy? I mean, I'm just pointing out a celebrity's birthday, and I don't think I've gotten that extreme.
No, that's more than that. You just did the whole thing.
I don't know. I mean, there's a connection, though, with the VMAs, right? You're coming back and you're making the announcement, and then you're kind of the release date.
Who gives a shit about that whole Kanye thing anymore, except for Taylor Swift?
I mean, it's a cultural moment. It's part of it's part of pop culture history.
You sound like this weirdo. So just to recap, Taylor Swift, born on the 13th, 13 years after the Kanye incident at the VMAs, accepts the VMA for a 10-minute version of a song and announces her 10th studio album. Coming in the 10th month of the year, it will have, naturally, 13 tracks.
I mean, those are all true, what you just said.
This is deluded. This is deranged behavior.
I actually wasn't planning to bring this up. I just saw a few TikToks that were talking about
Of course.
this.
Yeah. The TikTok where the sane hang out.
Okay. Really jumping on me here. God, first it was the Willy Wonka thing, and now that... I'm just excited for more Taylor Swift music, really, above everything else. Like I could take or leave all the theories and stuff.
Yeah.
But this should be good. I'm waiting for the single. I would expect a single to be coming out pretty soon. Of course, once it comes out, I'll have to share my thoughts on the podcast, as I know everybody wants. Yourself included.
I can't wait for Taylor to claim it again.
Well, no, we wouldn't play it. We wouldn't.
Seems every 3 weeks I get a Taylor Swift claim on the podcast for some reason.
Well, you brought up the last one. Like, I did not send you that. That sort of happened organically.
It's weird how it happens.
Yeah, I mean, there really isn't that much to say. Like, there's no track, there's no anything other than the announcement.
Yeah, did you see people calling her post look like an antidepressant ad?
I saw that. I mean, okay. Yeah, I guess so. Not really, though. It's just a melancholy photo. I don't,
It's just melodramatic, that whole thing. This is for all the midnight lonely hearts or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but that's
saying.
her thing.
It's so hacky.
That's how she does like her marketing and stuff. Like that's just how.
This is for all the owners of a lonely heart.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know why I brought this up. I don't know what I was expecting.
You ever find yourself alone in a crowded room?
God damn it. I still think there was something to that, that whole Phoebe Bridgers thing. Anyway, the U.S. Open, I saw this the other day. I thought it was pretty funny. So there's an AP News story. I have been following the U.S. Open, but so the headline here is Kyrgios, who's a Australian tennis star, complains of marijuana smell during the U.S. Open win. So yeah, this player was bothered by what he thought was the smell of marijuana during his match this week. So the article here says the Wimbledon runner-up complained during his second round victory about the scent, asking the chair umpire to warn the crowd inside the stadium. And so he says, you don't want to remind anyone not to do it or anything. And that's what he says during a changeover during the second set. Yeah, so it sounded like the chair umpire responded by saying maybe it's the concessions that you're smelling, like the stadium concessions. Yeah, and so he says, obviously I'm not going to complain about food smells. So he doesn't think it was the food, it was marijuana. He did win the match. However, he is asthmatic. So he says, when I'm running side to side, I'm struggling to breathe. Probably not something I want to be breathing in between points. Somebody snuck a joint into the stadium is what I'm taking away.
They had a vape. Had a weed vape. What? Of course it is.
A weed vape? You can smoke weed and vape? I don't know. I haven't done either. So,
yeah, it's like oil.
Is that allowed in like public events? Right. That's what I was gonna say.
I think people are doing it at all the shows we go to.
This felt like a relatable story to me. Okay, because we went to a concert last month and I was definitely distracted by all the marijuana smell. I mean, it was already a very smoky environment with all the very unnecessary
I don't know why they were blasting all that smoke into them.
Yeah, the venue was blasting a lot of smoke, but that's beside the point. So there was a lot of marijuana going around, and it's summer, it's hot. Like you just don't need that, you know? Unfortunately, the AP News, when I reached out, did not feel the need to publish a story about my complaints during the snail mail show.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I sympathize with this tennis player for sure. Tennis players are known to be very rigid and strict about their sort of like diet and what goes into their body. So secondhand smoke.
I think the umpire ripped ass, and he didn't want to admit it.
Yeah. No, I think it's the hot dog over there that they're eating in the front row. I think it's the concessions.
I do think it's funny though that Kyrgios identified it as coming from the kitchen though. That's quite the schnoz. Yeah. To be able to identify precisely the source of where it's coming from in a stadium, in an open stadium. They should get him for
it's pretty remarkable.
Like SWAT or whatever.
I mean, he's probably busy with his tennis career, but that's, maybe it's a backup option. So, we'll see how he navigates the rest of the tournament. It looks like he did very well at the last one because he came in second place at Wimbledon. So he should be a favorite to succeed here as long as the drugs don't get in the way. I don't know. I mean, personally speaking, even if I was a smoker, I wouldn't want to subject anybody around me to that, like in public spaces.
Yeah, the thing is, people don't give a fuck.
I feel like that's to be enjoyed in your own environment, right?
Yeah, I think it's also like part of a problem. Like people don't know their own smells. You know what I mean? Like I probably go outside and I smell like cat, and I don't even realize how much I smell like cat. But it's just
yeah,
it's just my environment. So they probably don't realize how much they fucking smell.
Although I think
like
somebody
weed.
would have to be actively smoking it for this player to.
No. Yeah, no, completely. But I'm just saying, like they're so used to that smell that they don't realize that they're like filling up an entire fucking stadium.
No, the other thing I found funny about this was just the difference in like tennis culture in like different countries, because you have a place like is it Wimbledon or the French Open is the most strict, where you can't even breathe sometimes without getting like scolded by the chair umpire. umpire, you know? And then you come to New York City and there's just people yelling and smoking weed during your game. It's like such a different environment. But that's really all I've seen about the tournament, aside from Serena's farewell tour here. I saw they lost doubles last night. As we're recording this, Venus and Serena, I think they lost their doubles match. So that's officially their final doubles match together, which is a shame. But I think Serena's still going strong in the singles tournament. So this will all be outdated by the time we post this. So there's no need for me to talk about it, but there we go.
We'll have a ticker at the bottom of the screen. Look now.
Yeah.
So what's this about pants?
Oh, I put pants in the show notes. I'm just looking for pants recommendations.
Pants recommendations?
If anybody has them. You know, it's becoming fall again, right? We're kind of drifting into that territory. And I've decided that I am finished with the so-called skinny jeans. I'm over it. I'm done with them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been sort of a staple for me for
So are
for
you
too
looking
long,
to move
but I'm
in the
moving
opposite
on.
direction?
Well, the thing is,
okay.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. It's up in the air. That's why
if you want to get
up
up in the air, I would recommend the parachute pants.
Yeah.
How about Jinkos?
Jinko jeans. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping for more serious.
I don't know. I don't know what you're. I don't know. I don't know. I don't do fashion. I don't know. How to
what kind of pants are you into?
I would just wear jeans that fit me, and they end up being skinny.
Jeans that fit you, yeah. Okay.
But that's just how they. Yeah.
Do you ever have the wish that you just had like a uniform?
I mean,
you know?
I kind of do, but it's not really intentional. I do jeans, but I don't like blue jeans. So I wear like gray and black jeans.
I don't know. I mean, around the house I'll wear like what do they call them? Jogger pants. Ironically, I don't actually jog in them, but I will wear them when I'm not exercise.
Yeah, I just wear gym shorts around the house.
Yeah. Even during winter?
I get hot. Yeah. So what do you look for? Like chinos? What do you like?
I don't know. I'll have to see what kind of direction. I might have to look outside of just jeans. I know there's plenty of different types of pants out there. You know, it's a whole world full of them.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna have to look into it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of TikToks about people doing thrift shopping. Seems like a really big thing.
Do you really want to wear somebody's old pants?
Well, if you look at it as like, oh, this is good for like the environment because you're not buying like as far as like resources go, you're not creating any more of them, right? So I like that aspect of it. I like the idea where you just like don't know what you're gonna find, basically.
So you want a loot box?
No, I mean like not that you don't know what you're gonna get, but like when you like go to like a thrift store, you don't know like what you might discover essentially. Yeah. The thing is, I don't know if there are any good ones around us.
I have no idea. I just feel like
stores.
pants,
no, I don't
like
know
that's
either.
too close for comfort.
Is it
pants? Like getting an old sweater, you know, at a Goodwill, like fine. Like pants, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, like, all my clothes I wear one time and I wash them. Like, I'm obsessive in that regard. So I don't know. It's not like you wash them before you use them the first time.
Yeah, of course.
Like, that's a given. You know. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I can't be more.
No, I wasn't expecting you to be. If it was still summertime, I'd take a look at some jorts.
Yeah.
But,
you need the Kevin Smith jorts. Yeah.
But yeah, so pants will be an ongoing story,
keep me posted.
Sure, for sure.
So you're moving away from the skinny jean, but isn't that like still kind of the style as the skinny jean?
Is it? Because I've heard differing opinions there. I've heard some really scathing opinions about
I remember when we were in middle school, like the baggy was the thing. And then when we were in high school, it was the skinny jean. And I thought it's been skinny jeans since then.
Maybe. Although I feel like trends, like fashion trends, are kind of bogus. I feel like if you truly have a sense of style, you are doing your own thing, you know? So I'm not really worried about that too much.
Yeah. What's the thing where like they pull up the pants?
Belts?
Like you roll them up? No. Like the cuffs. Belt? Like you cuff them? I think the kids do that.
So I watch Big Brother Canada.
Okay. Right? Well, you can't. No. You can't do. You can't take Canadians.
No.
It's a whole different world. It's a whole different world up there.
It's only a few hours drive.
It's It's a whole different world.
No, but I've noticed that the male contestants on Big Brother Canada typically wear jeans that they only go to like the shin. They don't actually extend down.
Those
to
are
the
shorts.
No, they're sort of like what's the term?
Culottes.
That I've never heard that before. No, it's like a. I'm blanking on the name, but yeah. So they end at like the ankles. So you get a little bit of if you're wearing like ankle socks, you get a little bit of skin
like
showing.
you cuff
But no,
them.
these aren't
Do
cuffed.
that. That's
These
what
are
the
just
kids
they're
do.
cut that way.
Here, I'll show you some culottes.
Okay. No, it's not. That's not what I'm talking about. These are just like normal jeans that just don't extend as far as you would think.
Pants. That's not gonna.
There's a term. There's a specific term for them that I'm completely blanking on, and it's very frustrating.
Me shorts.
Yeah, no, these are definitely not.
Okay,
shorts.
wait, hold on. Here you go. Something like this. This is what Bronco Henry wears.
No, that's too short. That's too short. That's too far in the other direction. That's
past the knee, though.
No, we're talking
jeans that go past the knee.
So let's say that the standard pair of jeans ends right at the shoelace. Okay. Go maybe, I don't know, 3 inches up. Okay, so not as extreme as that, but like
jeans
you get some ankle.
Short cuff.
I don't know where the cuff's coming in here because there's no.
The cuff's the end of the jeans.
Oh, is it? Is that what you call it?
This is just giving me Daisy Duke.
No. See, this is more. This is more subtle.
This is terrible.
Oh yeah, it's still too high.
Too high.
There's a middle ground. There's a middle ground here. What do you call that though? There's a term for that.
Women's jeans rolled cuff.
No. See, there's no.
That Capri Bermuda capris. Okay, this is also again capris. Women's, but
so this
I
is
think
like
this
a capri, but not as capri-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, that's closer to it. Yep. They wouldn't be like the men
that's what I'm talking about. Like the rolled cuff.
They wear sneakers, so it's more the.
I don't know. That's like some
you
Huckleberry
could have a
Finn
cuff,
shit,
or you could
though.
just have it like fit that way to that length.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're doing north of the border.
This is just giving me women's stuff, even though
that seems to be in fashion.
Capri pants. No, not pants. Short. See, I don't think it goes long enough. I don't know why this dude's all right. This dude's just digging his ass.
I think
but those are not. They're too long to be shorts.
No, that's like those look like shorts.
This series of DMs looks like a.
It's borderline. That's it right there. Except
that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, some of them, like, I feel like that's even a bit higher. You want to walk around
like this?
Oh, I'm not saying I want to.
Here you go. This is whenever you're walking around the sand dunes. Here you go. You'll look like.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. My issue here though is that I don't particularly like baggy pants either. Yeah.
So you don't want skinny and you don't want baggy.
It's tough. It's like, where does that leave?
I don't know.
You know. I mean, this dude's wearing sandals too. That's a
that's a rough look. So this is like your business look then. I don't know why it's giving me two.
Again, I'm just telling you what I see from Canadians. I'm not saying I want to wear these
Canadians. Pants. Some of these are incredibly tight. This series of DMs, I feel like we're being put on a list. I don't know what kind of list it is, but it's a list. But you don't want the baggy. Okay, so then this. I don't know why you want to show your ankles like you're a naughty 20th century woman.
Yeah, I think you're hitting on a lot of them now. Like, this is what I was talking about when I was talking about the Big Brother Canada people.
This is like a Mumford and Son.
Sure. Maybe the end result here is just no pants.
That's a look. Yeah. It might get you picked up on some charges, but it's a look. Yeah, I don't know. Pants are tough. I remember I was trying to get like shorts that were not like gym shorts, but were also not like stupid baggy cargo shorts.
Yeah, see, I'm not happy with the shorts I have either, but I kind of consider that to be a future problem now that it's still hot, but we're moving into a different season. So I'm going to put that on the back.
That was me last year when I was trying to figure out my shorts issue.
All right, so we'll leave it there. We'll leave the pants situation there.
If you have any pants suggestions,
that'd be fantastic.
Because this segment is definitely making the cut.
Oh, you don't think this is good?
What did I just say? It's definitely.
Oh, it sounded sarcastic.
Oh, it's definitely making the cut. Just like those culottes are definitely making the cut. Yeah, that's good. That's good to it for us. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
I feel like we started off so well, and then
I know.
And then I got to the Taylor
probably
Swift.
something about Taylor Swift. I get angrier and angrier now. I don't know what it is. That's gonna do it for us. Thank you so much for checking us out. Really do appreciate it. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at DeadEndRoad. Check out the Facebook at facebook.com/DeadEndRoad. TV, twitch.tv/DeadEndRoadTV, where we do a live show once a month. And I'll be streaming Final Fantasy 14 raids because fuck my life. YouTube search for DeadEndRoad TV, where we do the stream archives, full episodes, and clips whenever I remember to put them on YouTube now because I put them on social media. Yeah, I gotta work my shit out. I'm slacking. And I probably mentioned it at the beginning, but yeah, we're trying out a new thing for the VODs with the live streams. So anytime I gotta cut it down because of weird copyright infringement from A&E networks or Viacom or whoever's trying to eat my lunch, they'll go up on the site video.deadendroad.co so you can see the full uncut version of us ragging on weird 10-year-old reality TV, and the cut down version so it can actually legally be up on YouTube will be up on YouTube, and that's how that'll work. So yeah, that's how that's gonna work. Thank you for listening. We will catch you on the next one.
All right, I'm gonna go put some pants on.